Hi everyone, Coach Dillon here, Executive Director of LACROSSE, here for another live stream. So we are doing these live streams every Tuesday and Thursday to keep you guys training while we are all stuck at home. On behalf of our coaching staff and everyone, I just want to say, we miss you guys a ton, and I know it's really tough for all of us to be away from the field, be away from our friends, being away from the game we all know and love. But we can still train at home, and we still need to keep in mind that we will be back on the field soon. I know it might seem like it's a long time away right now, but it will be here before we know it. And guess what? It's going to end up being even better than it was before. Because this time away, I think, is really going to make us appreciate how special and how great we have it to have the amazing teams and friends and coaches and facilities and everything we have to be able to play the game that we love. So today, I'm coming to you from actually a racquetball court right across the street from my house at a park, Tillis Park in South City. I'm pretty lucky. It's mostly covered, so I'm not getting too rained on. You might hear some rain in the background a little bit. But today, I'm just by myself because of the shelter in home order. I'm not here with Coach Natalie today. However, she will be back, and we're also working on lining up a couple of our other coaches to do some of these as well. But today, in this racquetball court, I wanted to just show you guys wall ball routine that I like to do, and I'm going to kind of break down each step and talk about the form and how we need to be doing each progression. So I know it's going to be tough for you guys to follow at home, but just try to watch and take these tips in and remember them for when you're out on your rebounder or out on the wall doing this yourself. This will also be posted on YouTube, so you can come back and check it out at any time and reference it. And please share it with others that you know. So stay tuned for that. We'll be uploading all these to YouTube. So I guess with all that said, let's get going. So I'm going to start off with just a basic left and right hand throwing against the wall to get my stick dialed in, to get my form right, all that sort of stuff. So before we start that, I'm going to throw my stick to the side and I want to review form with you guys real quick. Because I know there might be some beginning players watching, but this is also good for you advanced players so that you don't have bad habits. So the last thing we want to do is practice with wrong form and develop a really bad habit. So throwing a lacrosse stick, or throwing a lacrosse ball with a lacrosse stick is a lot like throwing a baseball, tennis ball, anything. So you want to make sure you're turning your hips towards your target, you're extending your arms, you're stepping to, and you're rotating those hips and going towards your target. So it's just like throwing a ball, just like that. So now kind of seeing it with a stick in hand, with our hips turned, we're stepping, we're extending those arms, we're pointing our butt end towards our target, straight through. Boom, just like that. So now I'm going to grab a ball and get going here. So I'm going to start with 20 left and 20 right. So here we go, left hand. If you guys noticed, I'm trying to hit the same spot on the wall every time. I'm also trying to get a rhythm going. Having rhythm in lacrosse is very, very important. Rhythm and timing. So practice that when you're on the wall. Try to keep it consistent. Boom, 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 boom. All right, so I kind of got warmed up there with a little left, right. Obviously, you guys should probably do a little more reps than that. I don't want to stand here and just do rep after rep. While you guys are watching, I want to move through in a timely manner. So after I get my stick dialed in and I just do some left and rights, probably about 25 to 50 total, I like to move on to what we call opposite hand, or opposite side catching. So for this, just a demo, we'll put the ball down here. So if I'm throwing with my left hand, I'm going to be catching on the opposite side of my body over here. So when throwing, you want to kind of throw at an angle a little bit, so it's coming across, and then you're catching it over here. Or with your right hand, you're throwing at an angle, catching over here. Make sure you're moving your feet towards the ball wherever it goes. So it looks something like this. So I'll start off with right hand, opposite catch, right? Just like that, and then left hand. Just like that. So again, try to go 25 to 50 on each side, and really push yourself. Try to see how many in a row you can do without dropping it, and then kind of move on and progress. Make it a little game with yourself. Okay, so that's opposite side catching. From there, I like to work on splitting, going from left to right, using my left hand and going to my right, then using my right hand and going to my left. Being able to switch hands quickly, like a split dodge, is very, very important in lacrosse. So that's what I like to work on a lot on the wall here. So I'm going to show you a little split dodge drill I like to do. So you can start off either side. So for here, I'll start off with my right side. So throwing, catching right, and then I'm splitting to the left, throwing, catching, splitting. So important when we're splitting, we need to make sure our shaft and our head of our stick are remaining tight to our body, and they're coming down a little below your chin, and your hands are basically just replacing each other. That bottom hand is sliding up, that top hand is replacing. And you want to keep that butt end down low below your belly button. So when it's quick, it's like this. So again, we're going right, splitting left, and then left. Also really work when you're switching hands. Make sure you're working on really planting that foot and exploding to the other side after you're making that catch. That explosion is huge. So this honestly is one of my favorite ones, working on the split dodge. I think it's really, really important. It happens a ton in a game where you need to catch it quickly, switch, and make a throw really quickly. Or you're doing a dodge, splitting left to right, right to left, going into a quick pass, quick feed, or a quick shot. This is working on all of those. So I actually really do probably close to 100 reps when I do the splits. So make sure you're doing a ton here. Next progression I like to do is over the shoulder catching. So over the shoulder catching is basically like, if you guys watch football, shout out XFL Battlehawks. If you watch football though, a quarterback, throws a long pass to wide receiver, who then catches it over their shoulder as they're running. That's basically the same thing that we're doing here in lacrosse. It's very important skill to have, because transition, as you guys know, is huge in lacrosse. Pushing the ball up the field as quickly as we can is massive. So being able to catch it over the shoulder as your feet are moving is a very important skill. So I always try to practice that on the wall as well. So the fun way you can do that on the wall is you kind of throw it to yourself, then you turn and catch it over the shoulder. Try to do it as your feet are moving. It's a little tougher to do, but with enough practice, you guys can totally do it. So it looks like this. So I'm gonna go, I'm gonna throw with my left hand and then catch it over the shoulder with my left. Then I'll throw with my right hand and catch it over the shoulder with my right. So left hand looks like this. Right hand. So make sure you're really throwing it high enough on the wall to where it can give you enough time to run under it. Ooh, almost slipped. Try to do about 25 of those on each side. So that's another great progression and something that will really, really help you. Next fun thing I like to do on the wall is practice catching those weird passes that you get in games, weird bounces that you might get, kind of the ball coming off the ground or deflecting off a stick or any sort of stuff like that. So what I call this is high to low rebound catching or low to high rebound catching. So basically, high to low is where you're throwing it down and then trying to catch it. Low to high is where you're throwing it off the ground and comes up. So here is high to low. I'm trying to stay in front of the ball. So basically I'm just throwing it off the wall, trying to get a bad bounce off the ground. I'm trying to move towards the ball and get in front of it, kind of like a shortstop, second baseman in baseball or softball. So that is high to low. Do about 25 reps of those, practice both hands. Low to high, you have to be able to kind of go a little sidearm or underhand really. And you're trying to hit the ground first and then skip it up. So it looks like this. And actually, this is a great way to kind of practice throwing underhand or sidearm, which as you get to become a more advanced player, it's definitely a skill you need to know how to do. Being able to throw and catch in multiple angles will just help you be a better overall lacrosse player. So again, kind of starting low, skipping off the ground, and have it coming up. Again, try to get a rhythm going as you're doing this. Make it boom, boom, boom. Rhythm is huge. All right, so for our next little thing, I've been getting a lot of people asking, how do you do behind the back, coach? How do you do around the world? Which these are more advanced tricks. These are gonna be tougher for some of you beginning players that might be watching, but I definitely love having this skill as a player. Using it in a game is a little tougher. You gotta be really, really good at it to be able to use it in a game. But I think learning how to do it behind the back and around the world helps you just become a better lacrosse player, because again, you're working on your skills, and it's practice, it's that stick in your hand. So I actually totally encourage everyone to be creative and practice these moves. They might be deemed, kind of show-offy, but it's still helping you be a better lacrosse player. And actually, if you watch lacrosse at a very high level, watch a lot of box lacrosse indoor or college lacrosse, you'll see these guys, pro of course, you'll see these guys doing behind the backs a lot. And they're actually, it's a great shot when it's at the right angle and it's an appropriate shot. And so knowing how to do them is great. So what I like to do with my behind the backs is basically, again, you're turning sideways towards your target. You're getting your arms extended, but I like to just basically hit it off my back shoulder right here. And that helps me get a nice, consistent throw. Because if you're trying to go just kind of freehand like that, the ball's gonna come out at a lot of different angles. Learning how to do it first off your back shoulder will help you get that consistent angle with your stick as you're doing it. So this is what it looks like. You guys see how I was kind of banging that off my shoulder? Again. Just like that. And it's kind of coming at the same angle, so I'm able to catch it and go right back in. Again, have that rhythm going. So behind the back, around the world is basically the same thing, except that you're starting in front and then hitting it off your back shoulder. So it's like that. So behind the back is just straight around the world, come in front, and then swoop it like that. But again, it's banging it off your shoulder. It's consistent follow-throughs So it's like this. And then if you want to get really fancy, you can go from behind the backs to around the world, to behind the backs to around the world. I might mess this up, but I think it's a fun thing to practice and know how to do. So it's going to look like this. Oh! Totally duffed that last round, Lord. Let me try to do it. As you guys can see, you can never have enough practice at behind the backs and around the world to get good at it. So that is actually our workout for today. Just wanted to show you those progressions. That is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 progressions that you can do. If you're a younger player, beginning player, just start with the easy stuff, work your way up. Master the basics before you move on to the more advanced fun stuff. But the cool thing about lacrosse is it encourages creativity with the game and with your stick. So anything you're really doing to keep that stick in your hands, your washed hands, of course, everyone please be washing your hands, but anything you can do to keep that stick in your hands and just being creative with it and learning how to play with it with both hands in multiple different angles and doing multiple different things, it's going to make you a better lacrosse player. You talk to every lacrosse player that has played at a high level, the thing that got them there was the practice and the time they put in with the stick on their own. So while it really, really is tough being away from you guys on the field, doing team practices and all that sort of stuff, you guys actually have the opportunity right now to do a ton on your own. And the true breakthroughs with your stick work come from you guys practicing on your own. I can't tell you how many countless hours I put in on my own, learning all the different progressions on the wall ball that you guys just saw. So make sure you guys are doing that. And it's a fun thing to do. I grew up playing every sport. This is one of the few sports that you can actually practice on your own, by yourself, and it's actually really fun. So we want to see you guys training. We're going to be posting other minute-long videos with fun little training tips that you guys can do on your own. We posted one yesterday, Coach Natalie throwing off the couch and off the chair and kind of getting the rebound and rethrowing it. We got a couple awesome submissions in from some U12 players, U8 players, U10 players, all over the place. But we want to feature you guys and show you guys working out, and we want you to show your teammates that you're working out and putting in the work. So send us your videos, tag LFA in there, and use the hashtag LFA LACS at home. So that's LFA LAX at home. Hashtag LFA LACS at home, or tag us Blue Fuse Lacrosse. We want to feature you guys. We want to show you guys doing some fun training videos, and hey, we want to show all the other teams and programs out there that Blue Fuse, just because we're in home, doesn't mean we stop training. So keep working hard, guys. Keep doing it. I can't wait to see you guys again soon. Please, as you guys are at home with your parents, please, please, please be listening to them, be nice to them, be helpful. Do the dishes. Take out the trash, help with laundry, all sorts of things. Make sure you're listening to your parents and your teachers as you're doing your schooling now from home. This is a very important time to come together as families and work with each other. Don't be making it more difficult than it already is being at home, all right? Just like we expect you guys to be leaders on the field when you're playing lacrosse, be a leader in your house too. Help your parents out. Because the more we're working together during this time, the quicker and better it's going to be getting through this. All right? So thank you guys for watching and tuning in. Please pick up those sticks, and please send us your videos. Hashtag LFA LACS at home. See you guys soon.